Hello,
Hi,
hello.
guys.
Today we're talking about how to go to the grocery store without blowing your budget. This is a big problem for a lot of people. They just go to the grocery store and then their grocery budget is shot. So, what is the number one way to stop doing this? First of all, I have never, ever, 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 ever just gone to the grocery store and thought, what do I want to buy today? Ever.
Yeah.
I have never done that.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Just to roam up and down the aisle saying, oh, this looks good or that looks good and pick me. Yeah.
I was absolutely shocked when I heard a very famous person. Now, this person has a lot of money and that's fine. They can do whatever they want. But I was absolutely shocked when I heard this person say that every day after work, she goes to the grocery store and then she decides what she's cooking for dinner. Like, holy moly. Okay, I mean, you're rich, you've got the money, that's fine if you want to do that. But it's not an efficient way to grocery shop, and it's certainly not a good way to save money and stop blowing your grocery bill. So, we're going to give you a few tips on how to save on your grocery bill without blowing the budget. The first thing is our mantra: check the ads. Every single week, I look at the ads. I was just looking at them right before we walked in here to see if there's anything this week that's on sale that I could get. And I shop to refill my pantry, my freezer, and my refrigerator. I don't shop to buy just what I want to eat. So I have a set of 10 meals for spring and summer and 10 meals for winter and fall. We basically eat the same things right before the show. I went and got one of my pre-cooked packets of hamburger, defrosted it, threw in some taco seasoning, and had nachos for dinner before we started the show. It was literally 5 minutes to cook dinner, but I already had all the ingredients on hand. I had taco shells if I wanted to do taco shells, but I happened to have some red and green tortilla chips from Christmas that I need to use up. So that's what we had. And so the other thing that we do is we keep a shopping list running, but I don't stick to my shopping list. If you do that, then you miss out on all the really good bargains, like, after Easter sale, after Christmas sales, day old breads.
Well, it also helps too if you're planning on a meal and you think, oh, let's have fill in the blank tonight, and you go to get the cheese out of the refrigerator to make this. If you keep a running list, you'll know you'll always have cheddar cheese on hand for when you decide at the last minute you need to make something else or you want to make something. Mm-hmm. You don't have to run to the store and get something or change over and try to figure out what else. You have it on hand.
Yep. The next thing is cut out all of the junk food. I am absolutely shocked when I'm at the grocery store and I hear people complaining about grocery prices while they're at the grocery store, and I look down at their basket and half of it is sodas and juice and coffee
and chips
and beer, and the other half is chips and pre-cut this and pre-cut that for fruits and vegetables, and meats that are already made up and seasoned that are $10-15 a pound. Just stay away from those things.
Well, one thing too, you've got to make up your mind and get really serious. Do I want to save? It's like any other addiction or whatever you want to call it. You have to make up your mind. I want to do this. We have to do this to save money. And so I'm going to do it. And if you're of a good mindset, you won't automatically grab that stuff. You'll hesitate and think, no, we really can get by without this item or so much of this item if you're really ready to do it. So first of all, get in the right mindset, and think, I'm going to get serious about saving groceries. And then when you are doing it, be adaptable. It's like, I don't know how many people say, I only buy artisan bread, or I only buy whole grain, fill in the blank, this type of specialty whole wheat bread or whole grain bread, or I'll only buy this bread. you're going to have to learn to be a lot more flexible in the future if you're going to try to stick to a grocery budget, and fight the inflation and everything. You can't be dogmatic anymore. Well, I'll only eat this, or I only had this kind of coffee, or I'll, fill in the blank. You just have to be more flexible is what the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I actually have thought about doing a video where I take my family to the grocery store and just let them pick whatever they want to put in the basket.
Oh my goodness, with 3 boys and Michael.
I
my
have
goodness.
never ever done that. And I'm kind of curious what everybody would put in the basket and how much that would cost. I would really be interested to see how that works out.
Well, that's another tip too, is don't take your family with you, when you go grocery shopping, the husband or the kids. Now, some husbands have gotten better at shopping now, but and maybe can. But if your husband's not used to grocery shopping, you can do one of 2 things. You either need to take him so he can realize what the prices are, and he won't be so demanding of, I have to have certain things, to eat or drink, once he sees what the prices are. So you might want to do it for that reason. But most of the time I say, don't take the kids, don't take the husband. It's harder to shop with them, period. And then they try to get you to buy different things too, on top of that.
The next thing is avoid shopping when you're hungry. Yeah. I mean, that just goes without saying. Although, if you have a chronic illness, sometimes you don't feel like eating and things don't sound good. So maybe you should go shopping when you're hungry, because then you could get a little more variety in your life. So it just kind of depends on your situation and what to do. Compare prices. Yes, I don't shop at one store. Walmart is where I do the majority of my grocery shopping, but I get all of my meat, my cheese, my milk, cereals at Albertsons or a little hometown store that we have called Ridley's, which is a food club knockoff. And so shop at different stores and you will actually save a lot of money.
And the way I do this is I take our Albertsons ad, and if they have, let's say, milk on sale at Albertsons, and I don't usually buy my milk at Walmart, but I'm wanting to know which is the cheaper. So I'll go to Walmart first, check their milk. And if I see it's more expensive than what's on sale at Albertsons, then I'll take and know not to buy milk at Walmart, and I'll get it at Albertsons. So, you can kind of check things out like that a little bit too.
Yeah. All right, guys, this video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbooks. Our Mother's Day sale ends in 48 hours. Now, let me tell you, today we made the decision that our prices are going up. This will probably be the last time you can get these cookbooks this cheap. Start with volume 1 and volume 2 go together. You can get 50% off with both of those as a set. Or if you want and have someone who is gluten-free, dairy-free in your family, if you get all 3, it's 50% off. Otherwise, it's 40% off. All of our single books, our price books to help you save money at the grocery store, is 25% off. And then we have just a few planners left. We only have 1 box of planners, I think, left. Grab those 20% off while they are on sale. 48 hours is all we have left, guys. Our prices are going up, so you probably will not see this low of a price from us again. All right, buy in bulk. Now, I agree and I disagree with this. When people think about buying in bulk, they think of going to Sam's or Costco. That's not what I think of when buying in bulk. What I think of when they say buy in bulk is when chicken is $1.47 a pound, I buy in bulk enough chicken to get me through 3 to 6 months. But going to Costco and getting a 6-foot bag of popcorn buying in bulk is not going to save me any money. Buying huge things of bleach, huge things of jelly, that's not going to necessarily save you money. Now, it might on a few things, but as a general rule, places like Costco's and Sam's do not save you money. They just don't.
Well, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And be careful, know your prices, because I don't know how many times I've seen the big containers and they're supposed to be in bulk, and everybody thinks I'm just automatically going to get that bigger container. It's going to be cheap because it's bigger. No, I've checked the prices several times and it's either the same or more. And so if you're buying that thing, even if it's the same, you maybe don't want to do that because you're more likely to have that spoil. Whatever, if you get mayonnaise or something like that, sour cream, different things.
Yeah, the average family can't use a thing of mayonnaise this big.
No, unless you have a huge family, and that's not what we're talking about here. But it might be better for you to buy the smaller ones because you're going to waste way more and it's going to end up costing you more,
Yep. The next thing is limit convenience foods. Now, I don't agree with this one either. Because if buying convenience foods is the difference between that and eating out, buy the convenience foods. I'd rather have you buy tater tots and cut up chicken for $5 a pound instead of going and spending $15 to $20 a person on dinner out. Even if you buy all convenience foods, you could get an entire family for dinner for $10 or $15 versus $45 to $60. So if you're wanting to cook from scratch at home more, then yes, start cutting out the convenience foods and that's fine. But if you're going from eating out all the time to cooking at home, then buy the convenience foods if that's going to stop you from eating out.
And you could try to start, how do I want to say this? You might buy the food itself on sale, but I find most people, what they hate about cooking at home is the cleanup. So maybe you can get the food on sale, but then buy like a disposable pans and paper plates and things like that. And that way you may not mind buying on sale and cooking. It's just you hate the cleanup. So, just decide what works best for you on either one of these things.
The next thing is shop less frequently. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When I go grocery shopping once a month, I spend half of what I do once a week. And then I spend even half of that if I go several times a week. That's just the way it is. So if you want to actually save money on your grocery bill, stop going to the store so much. You just got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've noticed, Mike, you can send me the first questions. Guys, put your question and comments in there and we will get to them. I've noticed since we've lived in a small town now and the grocery store is only 2 or 3 miles from my house instead of 15 miles from my house, we go a lot more frequently than when we lived in Idaho and the grocery store was 70 miles, we would only go once a month. And now we'll go 2 or 3 times a week. Now, I don't know that my grocery bill has necessarily gone up because for me, when I go in, I know what I'm going in for. I just don't go wander around buying stuff. Yeah. But I can see how if you're just going all the time, especially if you're taking the kids after daycare or something like that, and they're hungry and it's time for dinner. Holy cow. I can see why people's got $1,200, $1,300 grocery bills for 2 or 3 people. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Tanya says I'm notorious at going to the store too much. It's my absolute worst habit. That's funny. Mm-hmm. Our store is less in walking distance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, I could see that.
Because it's a proven fact that majority of people, every time they go, they get more than what they have on their list. And so they spend more than they plan.
Yeah.
And so that may be part of why your budget for groceries is, out of whack.
And if you're going after school, daycare, work, whatever, and you've got the kids with you.
Yeah, that's just you're a goner.
I need to go sometime at dinner time. I never go grocery shopping at dinner time for obvious reasons. And I need to go sometime just to observe and see, because I always go at like 8:30 in the morning. And so there's nobody there then. But I'd be curious to see, I don't know, see how they go.
Now I just happen to think of this. I don't know. I haven't checked it out. but some of you might know, I had a friend that she would go after work, and it would be like 7:30 at night that she would go to the grocery store a lot of times.
Mhm.
And because she was tired, she just wanted to get in and get out, and she'd use her list. So I'd be curious to find out if people, if they go at a time when they're tired, and they just want to get it done like a job and get in there, if they buy less and they don't wander around and just pick up this, that, and the other when they're more full of energy, or something.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm curious. Type 1, if you go to the grocery store and you stick with your list. Type 2, if you don't stick to your list and you buy extra things, because I'm a don't stick to my list person. So I'm absolutely curious. Edifying says, as a former cashier, don't. It's absolute madness. At dinner time, that would be interesting to see, because I'm curious. I would just be curious to see how that would be.
Yeah, I imagine it's
Oh,
a madhouse.
wow. A lot of people don't stick to their list. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Very interesting. Yeah.
And I don't know if we were going to talk about this or not, but when you, it just went out of my mind. Oh, I know. When you have groceries, you talking about not going too often to the grocery store, try to go as long in between times as you can. And one thing I started doing when I didn't have quite so much money was I would try to figure out how long I could stretch what I did have and make it stretch out and keep putting off. I don't have to go tomorrow because I've got this stuff in here that I can make 2 more meals out of, or I don't. Then the next day I say, well, I found this, so I can maybe make another day and go farther. And it almost became like a game with me. And I was so proud of myself, because sometimes I'd go a whole week after what I thought I had to go to the grocery store. It's kind of like going to the garage sales, and you start buying and getting good deals at the garage sale, and it's like going on a hunt. And what's the good thing I can get, at the garage sale this week, by trying to stretch your groceries and making a game out of it,
Yeah.
And you'll be so tickled at the things you come up with, because you come up with unusual dishes and combinations of things, and you'll be surprised and you'll feel good about yourself, and that'll encourage you, on being more careful with your groceries.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get to your comments and questions. Wendy, thank you for the super chat. She says, I love you guys.
Thank you, Wendy.
Use for Bibles for prison ministry if possible. We will do that.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. We give away free Bibles. If you guys don't have a Bible, or you just want a Bible, we give them for free. If you can afford to have one, we charge just what we are charge. And I will warn you, we got our Bible delivery yesterday and they were all smashed. So we were able to salvage 2 or 3 boxes. I can't remember how many, 2 or 3 boxes. And so if you order a Bible, there might possibly be a delay. We have more on the way, but there might possibly be a delay. So you can thank some truck stacker who just really wasn't paying attention and just had them fall all over. Okay. Yeah. So Cindy, going to finally see a live show. Thank you, Cindy, for joining us.
I'm glad you were able to.
She loves to watch our videos and make our recipes. We've been able to pay off everything but our house, and still a little to go on my cancer bills. Good job.
Very good.
That is great.
Yeah.
Edifying. Our stores no longer have paper ads, so I downloaded the Flip app. It shows ads and organizes my shopping list. That is a great way to do that.
Yeah.
Bounty in the Badlands. Evening, living on a dime. Rain, snow mix today. Got our fertilizer down in time. Ooh, good.
Ooh.
Now, lazy night. Swiss steak, rice, broccoli, and cheese for summer. Yum.
Oh, that sounds good. We haven't had supper yet, so that sounds
everything, all but rice, was homegrown.
Good.
Colorful Life of Chronic Illness is happy to join your live stream today. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Wednesday to you too. Edifying. What's for dinner tonight? We're having sloppy joes over homemade French fries instead of buns, plus a veggie tray and the Dining on a Dime vegetable dip from Volume 1 right here, guys. 40% off for the individual and 50 for the sets.
Now that's a good idea. What she was saying, that she's putting it over the fries because they don't have buns.
Mhm.
That's what I was talking about earlier, to try to stretch the food you have. Maybe you want to have sloppy joes or chili or something, but you don't have the buns to do it. Then you figure out how can I use this with just the fries and that. And so that's a good, tip kind of. I don't know if she was doing it just to stretch it or because she didn't have buns, but that's just an example of what you can do.
And I never go to the grocery store just because I need an ingredient, unless I have done it once or twice, only when I was trying to get a video out. That's the only time I've ever done that. And that was only like 2 or 3 times. And otherwise, if I'm out of an ingredient, I just change what I'm having for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm out of rice, then I'll have potatoes. If I'm out of potatoes, then I'll do mashed potatoes from the box. If I'm out of either one of those, then I'll do bread or whatever. But I don't just run to the store to get an ingredient. Grandma's so happy. Many rich people are rich because they use their brains and think like you do. Yes.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
That's it. Really,
you have control of your money, not your money controls you.
It really irritates me. I sell a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and they come up, and probably 95% of the people that have come to our house are like, whoa, this is a really cool house. I love your house. And I'm like, thanks. You're so lucky to be able to live here. And I just want to
stars.
And I tell them, I said, luck has nothing to do with it. I said, this is 30 years of no car payments. This is 30 years of driving clunkers.
It's a mindset. That's why I was saying earlier, it's all what you've got in your mind. You can either control your mind the same way you would control gambling or something. You control how you spend your money. Do you go shopping when you're upset? You've got to learn different habits, different ways to do things, and just make up your mind. I want to get out of debt. Or, I need to be more careful with my money. And you can we've got a lot of people on here that have gotten out of debt. And it's amazing how they feel and what they can do with their money now and the stress relief, Yeah.
And I know I'm going to get at somebody commenting on that saying, well, you're a Christian. You should be thanking God for what you have. Listen, I totally understand that God has blessed us with this, but we've also done our part.
Yeah.
It's not that God just dropped this in our lap. We had to do work also to get a really nice house. And so people are very pious about that and legalistic. And it's like, no, you need to take credit for the work that you've done also.
In everything we do, God expects us to do our part, and then he does his part. We have different separate things, and even like in every aspect of life, he wants us to do. In a marriage, he expects couples to do certain things for each other. And then he, on top of that, will bless a marriage, and that type of thing. But you've just got to, we always think either God's got to do it all, or we got extremes. God's going to do every bit of it. And then we got the other extreme is I have to work my way to heaven, and I have to be good, and I have to do all the work. There's a happy medium in there that we always seem to miss out on.
Thank you, Leo Wife 97 for the super chat. We will use that for Bibles. Thank you so much. Let's see. Becca, dinner tonight is coconut curried chickpeas with ginger, garlic, and onion tahini. Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
With bright rice. Edifying gravity. The number of people who only eat what they feel like that day is mind-blowing. Doing whatever you feel like is what little kids do. It's time to grow up. Yes.
Good comment. Sure. Yeah.
Wanda, shop the ads, shop your pantry, fridge, freezer, and use your leftovers. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Sarah, I have a friend that goes to the grocery store like every 2 to 3 days because she wants fresh ingredients. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine. Oh, my Lanta, on my list ready for other stores in the area. I go to other stores looking for clearance and markdown in case there's something on the list that's cheaper than the sale items I'm going to buy. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, and so we don't live in a big city by any stretch of the imagination. So when we do go to the big cities, Gillette or Casper or even Colorado, I will look at see what's on sale at the grocery stores there. So if they have butter for less than $3 a pound, you bet I'll be stocking up and bringing it home with me. So, look for things like that, and you may have to do a little bit of work. People say, "Well, I just can't drive that far for groceries." Well, yeah, you can. If you're going to save $200 or $300 on meat, you can drive a couple of hours to go get groceries. It's definitely worth it. I mean, when we lived in Idaho, we drove 70 miles each way. Well, it was way worth it. So you've just got to actually calculate how much you're saving and how much gas. It's a lot less gas than people think it is. People think, oh, it's going to be $100 in gas. No, it's not. Well, it's going to be $30 or $40 in gas to drive an hour and a half, and then you'll save $200. That's definitely worth it.
That's another thing. Stop guessing on this stuff. You need to calculate it out. What does your car get for gas mileage, and figure out how far you're going and calculate it. We don't even look at our receipts anymore when we go to the grocery store. We stick the credit card in and grab the receipt, and we are usually talking to the kids on the phone, talking or something else. And we don't even know the number they rang up half the time. We just put the credit card in automatically. And by the time you get to the car, you have no idea how much you spent. Start paying attention to where your money's going. Don't just jam in the credit card and think you know. Do some figuring. To save money, it's going to take some work on your part. And just like Tara was saying, this stuff just doesn't fall in your lap. It's just not luck. You have to work at this a little bit if you want it.
And like last week, I spent 25 minutes at the checkout line because almost every single thing in my order rang up wrong at Albertsons. And I stood there for 25 minutes on her trying to get it situated to get the right price. And guess what? It was like $100 or $150 more than what it should have cost me because it all rang up wrong. That's a huge chunk of change. You better believe for $150, standing there for 25 minutes waiting for them to get their act together is definitely worth it. I mean, but other people wouldn't even pay attention to see if it even rang up right.
They wouldn't even notice what they were ringing up. They would just grab the receipt and go.
Guys, this video is brought to you by our Mother's Day sale. It ends in 48 hours. This is one of your last chances to get our books, and our prices are going up. So this will be the last chance to get it this low. Volume 1 and Volume 2 are a set for 50% off. And then if you add to the Volume 1 and 2 our gluten-free, dairy-free edition, that set is also 50% off. Individual books are 40% off. Guys, it's not going to be this cheap again. So be sure to grab them. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. This is your warning. All right. Water bucket. Checking the ads is a time and money saver. Yes, it is. So are manager specials. Yep. Sneakers. Hello. My boys helped me make your veggie burgers today. It was so good. Yay. That's in Volume 1. Edifying. When I go shopping, I have a plan, but it is written in pencil. Very good.
Yeah, that's a good. She was saying the boys are happy. Most kids, I'm really surprised. Kids love cooking out of this or learning to cook. Young men love it. I've said this a million times. That was one of the surprising things is how many people, we cover a whole spectrum of people, good cooks that have cooked for years down to beginner cooks, love cooking out of this cookbook because we've got everything covered, in there for them.
Yeah. So. Dave was making the no-bake fudge cookies yesterday. Tanya says, I made barbecue ribs in the slow cooker using the homemade sauce. Thank you. She doesn't want to buy bottled again. It's really good, isn't it?
Isn't that barbecue sauce
I
good?
stopped making the sauce in the book because I couldn't find the liquid smoke. For a long time, I couldn't get liquid smoke. And I looked and looked, and it's finally back in stock now. So I'm going to start making the homemade once we're out of our bottled
that
stuff.
Homemade barbecue sauce is to die for.
Donna loves our idea of the 10-meal rotation. Very good.
Good.
Gail says there are no flyers from stores anymore. Yeah. You have to go online, and a lot of people don't have older computers. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, I think a lot of them do. They have cell phones, so they could look at it on their cell phones if they wanted to. Susan, my father-in-law. Oh, wait, read that one. Wait a minute. My father-in-law was a millionaire. You would never know it if it weren't for family because he did a large garden, had bees, got a whole cow at butcher, and ate at home every day.
Yeah.
Very good. Edifying, buy ingredients, not a bunch of snacks. Yes, that's what I'm noticing a lot of people are doing. You can send me the next one, Mike. Pen, I don't normally buy whole chickens, but they are on sale for 89 cents a pound. Is that a good price? Yes, it is. It's a very good price. Wanda, I used to work at a grocery store. I literally heard people talking to themselves, asking, what do I want for dinner tonight? I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine. Barbara, shopping around is critical in this economy. Yes, it is. Thank you, Jennifer, for the super chat.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Jennifer.
that. Grandma's so happy. I worked outside a bit, had semi-cooked frozen vegetables with ranch for dinner. Yum. Very good. She tried. Too tired to cook much after trimming bushes. Yep.
And we do have a ranch dressing.
Yeah, if you want a really good ranch dressing.
In
volume
book.
1.
Yeah.
In volume 1. It's also livingonadime.com. You can find the recipe there. Cecilia, what are your thoughts on vacuum sealer machines? Newlywed here, and my husband is a vegetarian, so I thought I could use it to freeze extra portions of red meat and chicken for me. Yes.
I love my vacuum sealer. I don't have hardly any small appliances at all, but I do have a vacuum sealer and I use it all the time, especially if you're a single person. Actually, no, I shouldn't even say that, because I think it works for larger families and it's really good for single or, like just 2 people. It really has come in handy. And I've saved money because I don't waste as much food. Yep.
Edifying, know your prices. What used to be cheaper option may not be anymore. Yes, that has been true since time began. Yeah, that's been true for everything. I'm always rechecking prices. Janet, and that's why you keep something like your price book, because you can keep your prices in here and then you know for sure when it is a good deal. By the way, guys, on our sales page, go to the description below. We have every single page in every one of our books is in a video on that page. So you can't say you don't know what you're getting.
You can look at all
every
pages in the book if you want. Yeah.
Yep.
And see what's in there.
Wanda, shopping when you're stuffed isn't good either. You don't want to take the energy to shop. Yep, that's true. Janet says, not my husband. He doesn't look at prices. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. Yeah. Jan says, hello from Montana. Hello. Glad I made it home. Time to catch you live. Yes. Lisa, take the boys shopping. Will they be frugal or would it be a free-for-all? I don't know.
I think
they'd be frugal.
They'd be frugal.
Yeah.
I really do, because when I've gone with them,
if I told them it's a free-for-all,
they might.
Then they would just probably
No,
go.
I think I've taken them before and said, well, do you want to get this or that? Nan's buying whatever. And they will hesitate and they will think about it before they just grab it right up. So I think they'd be frugal.
Tammy, my son-in-law knows the prices and doesn't care how much certain things cost. He doesn't do any off-brand items if he shops. Wow.
Yeah. I'm kind of concerned. That's a mindset of a lot of people now. And it's going to be hard if things get worse on groceries, because you're going to have to deal with the prices and resetting your mind and getting new habits in place all at the same time.
Yeah. If you guys are liking this video, please click the thumbs up below the video there. That will help us out. Wanda, did you know there's chocolate flavored Nutella Crustables out now? Wow. I did not know that. There you go. Allie, vacuum sealer helps with freezer burn, but if you're going to eat it relatively soon, I would just use freezer bags. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do.
If I have like a huge amount of hamburger, I will vacuum seal about 3/4 of it, and then the other part of it, I just Good tip. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I don't think a lot of people that use a vacuum sealer think about that.
Colorful Life of Chronic Illness says, I'm saving money by doing grocery pickup, saving myself any impulse buys. Yep. There we go. Bounty the Badlands. Had to take the kids with me. Played the what are groceries going to cost game. Taught them to add figures in their heads. Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to estimate and get an estimate. Like, I don't sit there and add $2.59 plus $1.49. No, I say $3 plus $2. I round up or down, and then at least have a general area, so that, like last week when it rang up $250 and I knew it should have been around $110, I was like, yeah, something's wrong. So, all right. I always try to have mac and cheese on hand. Yes, I do too. And that's an easy dinner. And the boys can just fix it for themselves when I don't feel like cooking. We can do that. Guys, post your comments or questions in the comment section.
I like to just keep regular macaroni, like elbow macaroni around, because I had a tomato that I had to use up. And then what else? Oh, I had olives at your house the other day, and black olives was sounding good to me. So what I did, I couldn't think of what to have. Well, I had the elbow macaroni, so I just made a little pasta salad, with the tomato, used the olives and threw on some cheese and just whatever I happened to have. If I'd had, some lunch meat or something, I would have cut that up too into that pasta salad. So you can take that macaroni, just that elbow macaroni, and add stuff like that. Or if you got a little bit of ground hamburger and you've got the elbow macaroni, you can add that with a little tomato paste. And we got the recipe in the book of the hamburger casserole, and that's made with the elbow macaroni and just like spaghetti sauce or hamburger.
Hamburger casserole is also livingonadime.com. You can get the recipe there too.
Yeah.
It's in volume 1, the red one. Edifying, I buy the medium-sized container of sour cream. It's the exact size for what we use for a meal. No waste or scooping too much. Yep, very good. And AOCWDA. I think a huge tip is what we eat is what you have before you run out to buy more, unless it is a real sale. Yes. So we try to just cook at home without just running to the store to get something. Yep. Kathy says, I purchased her e-planner, e-price book, and 2 other things yesterday. Thank you for the sale. You are welcome. And thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Nancy says, I made a new recipe today, unstuffed peppers. Well, there you go. Good, cheap, and easy. My 3 dinner requirements. Yep, for sure. Sarah, saw a video on Facebook where a lady was showing how Walmart was lying about the weight of their meat. The lady would put the meat on scale and show the weight wasn't what it was on the package. I was going to try that and see, because several people have sent me that saying, Tara, go check this out. And I haven't been to Walmart since they've all been sending me that. Well, at least not the grocery section. I had to get a prescription yesterday, but I'm curious to try that out and see. Denise, they're probably on their toes now that everybody's got that video going around. Denise, I only buy something on my list if it is truly a special sale. Yep. And Edifying says, baby steps are the key to long-term changes. Yep.
Yes.
Barbara says, I love to cook and my husband likes my cooking. We've had so many bad experiences eating out. Yep. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Letitia says, I agree on monthly shopping. Yep. Tanya, I'm notorious at going to the store too much. It's my absolute worst habit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did this one. But yeah, having one walking distance, that would be crazy. I can't imagine. I don't think I've ever had a store walking distance. Elizabeth, here I am trying to only spend $200 at the store, and it's going to be hard for me. You can do it.
Yes, you can.
South Loop River Homestead. Are you going to have videos soon? Helping the lady organized. I like those. So, going over tomorrow to do some stuff, but probably it's going to be June or July before those videos are done. So Bounty the Badlands, Lay's chips 2 years ago, 3 big bags for $8. Last year, 3 bags for $9. This year, 3 bags for $11. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Susan, I shop at Publix and go most weeks for the buy one, get ones. If that buy one, get one can be a good deal, but not always. So make sure you know your prices. Let's see. Letitia, I go early in the AM because best time to go. Highly recommend it. Normally go on Saturday once a month. Yep.
That's when I go.
Dab a little low. It's tough now because I have to make some meals for my mom who is sick. Yes, that would be harder.
That is hard. Yeah.
Now I stick to my list if I buy through the Walmart app. Yep. And Donna, go before they close. Meat is discounted. It might be. It just depends on your store. Some do it in the morning. Some do it at night.
And, it doesn't hurt to go ask the butcher when they do mark the things down. They're really nice usually about telling you stuff like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Jen, if I see a sale I wasn't aware of, I'll grab some extra. Yes. Even if it's not on my list. Yep.
That's why somebody was talking about, well, they didn't have the ads or something. You know, and you could just go to the store.
Yeah.
And even if you make the outside rounds, hitting the meat area and the fruit and vegetables and those types of things, they have signs that shows what's on sale. And I've gone shopping without even knowing what was on sale for that week. And I just cruise around and I look for the, the ads that's underneath the products. So.
Desert Lady says, shop online, use digital coupons. Delivery saves me a lot of money. My hubby has a bad habit of wandering each grocery aisle. Oh, man. That would drive me nuts.
That having groceries delivered, probably, even if you have to pay like $7 or something to have it delivered, that probably would pay for, balance out for you picking up too
Especially
much
for
stuff.
somebody who does that.
Yeah, that's really good idea, really.
Simply Joyful. I mostly am one, but I'm allowed to go off my list if I see an unusual bargain. Yep. Susan, are y'all buying preps? Still buying preps? Yeah, I mean, that's a never end. You just always replenish your stockpile. Yeah. So yes, I just always replenish my stockpile. Bounty the Badlands. I have a list of must needs, but do shop for sales on things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't be so stuck on your list that if you find a good deal at the grocery store, you're not flexible enough to buy that.
Last week, coffee was on sale for $8.49, regular $13.99. She bought 12. Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely. Edifying, or Angela says she loves us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Edifying, we sold so many rotisserie chickens, $8 back then, in family meals, 8-piece fried chicken for $15. That's what I think of as convenience foods. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather have you do that than go out to eat. I mean, if you need to go buy the fried chicken and the rotisserie chicken and it costs you $15 or $20 for the entire family, that's still way better than spending $50 to $60 now to go for a family of 4 to eat out. So,
and that's kind of why too that we talk about all the time frying up our hamburger and have it in packets in the refrigerator just to pull out. It seems like if people have their meat already cooked, it's so much easier to throw together a meal with the other stuff, and that helps you not to go out to eat so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Barbara, leftover goulash for dinner today. We actually enjoy leftovers the next day. Yes, we do too. Gina, did you cut your hair? I have no idea who you're talking to. Mom got hers cut. I haven't cut mine for a couple months.
Last week I got it cut a couple of inches. Yeah.
I just straightened mine today. Diana, I make a list and then forget it at home. Yes, that's what I do. Lisa, which book is your Chinese recipes in? It is volume 2. I think there's like 6 or 7 Chinese recipes in here. And what you do is you make one meat, and then I have like all these different sauces, like sweet and sour sauce, orange sauce, lemon sauce, all of those different ones, sesame in here. Volume 2, 40% off right now by itself, or in the set, it's 50% off. And guys, our prices are going up. I'm giving you fair warning. Walmart does not give you fair warning when you go in and the bread went from 82 cents 18 months ago to $1.42 now. I'm giving you warning. So if you want it, grab it now. Kathy, hamburgers, fried taters, and salad for dinner. Very good. Yep.
Perfect dinner.
Elizabeth, what to get off foods? Oh, maybe want to get off food stamps and where to get started at. Well, I mean, you're just going to have to start getting a higher paying job is what it amounts to. So I would just get a higher paying job and then just work from there. I would definitely use your food stamps, still be very frugal in your shopping, and build up your stockpile now with the food stamps while you can. And then when you go off, that will help you with some of your bills later.
Because people on food stamps tend to go buy things like steak or the junk food and everything because they got more than plenty to spend. So they want to use it up. But if you're wise and you're planning on going off, you will use it more for like a year's supply of different things so that when you, like Tara said, when you go off, you won't have to worry about groceries. Even if you get a lower paying job, then that's one less thing that you'll have to worry about. So
let's see. Sneaker says, I always listen to your advice, your videos for inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, you can send me the next one. Amber, Parable of the Talents is what doing with the Lord, doing what we are doing with what the Lord gives us, we are responsible for that. Yes, it is. While I do credit God for everything that I've had, I also credit myself, not in a prideful way, but just in a, I have followed what I'm supposed to do. So this is why I have a really nice house. And not a lot of debt. So,
well, the other way where they say, well, God's just blessed you or something, it's kind of like, sounds like a gambling type thing,
yeah,
where you're lucky, you just,
Yeah.
you were just gambling and God happened to bless you. But it doesn't work that way. If you're not doing God's will in your life and doing your part, God's not going to bless you.
No.
That's why, like she said, being a wise steward, that's why he says be a wise steward. He doesn't say just sit back and I'm going to shower you with all these blessings or give you whatever you pray for. No, he says be a wise steward. When he sees you're being a wise steward with what he has given you, then he's going to give you more and bless you more. And sometimes
it's up to you to make wise decisions also.
Yeah, exactly. That's being a wise steward. That's what that means. You have to be wise with your money. We say wise steward, but what it's saying is you be wise with your money is what you're supposed to do. And how many people, if you're going to the grocery store hungry and just wandering around trying to pick out something for dinner that night, that's not being wise. And all of these things is just being wise and using the common sense God's given you,
Midwest says, thank you for addressing the lucky thing. Makes me angry. We work hard, are wise, not lucky. Yeah, my kids one day heard someone at school in Colorado say something about us being lucky. I think it was that I was able to be a stay-at-home mom or something. And, or was that you, Mike? I can't remember if it was Mike or the kids, but one of them, they were like, ooh, you better not let Mom or Tara, I can't remember. Better not let Mom or Tara hear that. she'll go off. Was it you? I think it was one of the kids. And they were like, my mom better not hear you say that. It was funny. Edifying. I need ideas for high protein breakfasts for my husband that are inexpensive and aren't always eggs. He's burnt out on eggs. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be just breakfast food. I mean, like my boys make hamburgers all the time for breakfast, or they make the link sausage for breakfast, or the breakfast sausages for breakfast. Mike drinks a protein shake for breakfast. So it doesn't have to just be breakfast food. Can you freeze most produce? Lori wants to know. Most of it. Yes, you can. Froze family. It's a sunny morning for a change over here they're in Japan. I do shop often, but walk there and backpack my purchases home. Now that's totally different. If you're walking to the grocery store, yeah, you're going to have to go probably every day or every other day. So that's totally different. She only buys what is deeply discounted in the clearance sections. Yep.
Okay. Can I go back on the freezing the vegetables? If you're unsure about freezing a vegetable, you might try something like cutting something in half and freezing half of it. And if you're not sure whether it'll freeze very well, freeze it and see what happens to it. I always tell people they comment to me and they say, well, can I change this in a recipe? And I may not always know, but if you're uncertain about things like that, do a small portion, half a recipe, quarter a recipe. That way you're not wasting a whole lot and you might learn something about what you did. Oh, this froze beautifully, so then you can save money by freezing more of it type of thing.
Yep. And guys, in our volume 2, right here, we have on page, let me find it real quick. On page, okay, well, first of all, on page 10, we have how to store groceries. But then on page 15, we have a whole list of common foods and how to freeze them. So that chart is in there.
Our books aren't just cookbooks for anybody who's new on here.
Yep.
We have all kinds of seasonings to make. We have jar mixes in there. We have cleaning products. We have toiletries you can make. It's more of a tip. We have tons. How many tips? We've got hundreds of tips in there. of how to stretch your food, save on your food budget, just general ideas on cooking tips, and different things. Well, you can make chocolate syrup. We have recipes to make chocolate syrup and all types of salad dressings, and even how to do casseroles. Some people don't know how to do a casserole, and we show we have lists of stuff that you can add, go down this starch list and this vegetable list and this meat list, and you can mix and match them to do casseroles. So it's more of an encyclopedia, really, than just a regular cookbook with a few recipes in it. There's a lot. It's just jam-packed. And if any of you guys have seen or agree with me on that, pop in there and let the new people know that you really did find some. Oh, we have skunk remover in there. It's almost for the skunk remover, it's worth it for some people just to get the skunk remover recipe that really actually works. So, there's a big variety in there. So,
let's see. Dee Dee says, went to the bargain movie a few weeks ago. A bottle of water was $6. I knew what to expect. My friend didn't care, so I brought my own bottle, which cost me about 13 cents. Yeah, that's crazy. Patriot bought a price book last night. Any tips on using it? So I have a whole video on how to use the price book, but what you do is, so I listed the common foods and their departments here, but you have the stores up here. So just pick 3 stores right in your store. Then the lowest price at each store. Then I just do it in pencil. Then if it goes on sale for lower, I know, oh, that's a better price than what I've been getting. So that way I just keep track, and about every 3 months, everything goes on sale for the lowest price. But that way you can keep track and see, oh, this is an excellent deal. If I find chicken now for 89 cents, I know I need to stock up because that's a really good deal. So you just keep track, and it's not hugely time consuming or anything like that. Most people just use a price book for the top 15 or 20 foods that they buy. And that's being really big. I only use it for like chicken, roast, cheese, milk, because those are the main things that go on sale in my town. Pretty much everything else is the cheapest at Walmart. So, Kathy, look at my receipts all the time to make sure I'm charged correctly. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya, Meyer has 7 for 7 deals, but if you get one item wrong, the whole thing will be off. Yes, that drives me nuts. Gail, I'm so blessed to have 4 grocery stores within 2 miles. Wow.
Yeah, that's nice.
Seek and Joy, I know you say food for one person should cost $100. Even go to Ollie's, I spend more than that. Prices in California are high. Yes, you must watch your receipt for incorrect things. Yes, except that we have people in California all the time tell us they do it for that price. So you're not shopping. Aldi is not necessarily cheaper.
Yeah, I was going to say, I used to go to Aldi, and
Aldi's
there's certain things I get on. Yeah, I'm surprised at that.
I didn't think they were past Kansas.
I didn't either. But I had to watch, because there was a lot of things. Aldi's was really good. That was my main place that I went to get groceries. But I had to watch it because there was a lot of times the stuff would go on sale at the other stores. And so I could save.
We would get our staples at Aldi, but I never bought my meat.
No, I never got meat there.
Eggs and milk were cheaper at Aldi when I lived in Kansas, but I never bought meat there. And produce wasn't always cheaper there either.
No, I had to watch on the sales for the produce. And another thing on produce, I spend, I think it's about a nickel more a pound for bananas at some places sometimes compared to maybe like Walmart. And even I'll pay the more expensive one on the produce because at the other place, when I buy the bananas, they will spoil faster. And some of the fruits and vegetables will spoil faster. So I lose money because it spoils on me. So I paid the extra nickel a pound on it, in order to be able to use all of it.
Hello, Jim.
Oh, hi, Jim.
Cooking pasta sauce with freezer tomatoes and carrot and garlic and onion powder. Yep. We seems to be missing something. Huh. Oh, I made the same exact thing last night for dinner.
What sauce?
I don't know. Pasta sauce. First of all, I always add butter or olive oil, so that adds extra flavor. But I don't, let's see, garlic, onion powder, Italian seasoning, salt and pepper.
Now, did you get enough of it all, though? Enough salt?
Yeah.
Because I found a lot of times, especially when I don't measure quite as often now, it just something seems off with it.
Also, a little bit of sugar.
Yes, add a little
bit of
bit.
sugar,
For
like
about
a tablespoon.
Yeah, I was going to say a tablespoon for about every 4 cups of sauce that you have, and add a little bit of sugar. That'll help kick up the flavor. But yeah, make sure sometimes just sprinkling a little bit extra salt in there can make a huge difference in it.
The spaghetti sauce somebody was asking is on page 267 and 270 for pizza and spaghetti sauce in volume 1. It's also at livingonadime.com. For Lori. Monica, saltines today, 2 boxes for $1. Holy cow.
Wow.
I would have bought 1,000 boxes.
Oh, wow,
My kids go
that's
through
good.
saltines all the time. And they're like $1.42 a box now. It's crazy.
With bread being more expensive now, I love peanut butter on crackers or tuna salad on crackers, on soda crackers and stuff. So you could replace some of your bread with the crackers.
Kenneth says, I'm an old man, but I love your delicious recipes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gail says, I found liquid smoke and bought 2. Yeah. I need to check again because that's one of those things I was having a hard time finding.
And I use liquid smoke in everything now. I put it in my chili. I put it in my potato soup. I have been putting just a little bit. It just adds a little bit of a bacon smoky flavor, because I don't keep bacon around as much and cooked up. So I just add that liquid smoke to hamburgers, when you're making up your hamburger patties and things like that.
Do we have a Winco near us? Letitia wants to say, no, our closest one is Billings. So, yes and no. If we want to drive the 2 hours to Billings, yes, it's closer, but it's not like in our town. Edifying fellow homeschool moms. I know we're all looking for curriculum right now. Dining on Dime cookbooks make a great home ec textbook. Thank you.
Oh,
yes,
thank
it does,
you.
actually. Dixie, we shop loss leaders and clearance and plan around that. Yep, very good. Gail, Piggly Wiggly had country ribs for $1.29 a pound. That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Sneakers, because of you, we don't buy drinks anymore. Only went on sale for special occasion. Our huge drop in our grocery bill. Very good.
I was going to ask her if it made a big difference. We have done this testing over and over again. The average person, 1/3 of their grocery bill is for drinks, like coffee, tea, sugar to go in that, milk to go in that, juice, all those types of things. It's just mind-boggling when you start adding that up, how much your grocery bill goes just for stuff to drink.
Kim made a crock pot chicken burrito bowl today. Easy and delicious. Thank you. Actually, I'm getting ready to make up some of those. Captain, I have a salad bowl and popcorn I had a salad and popcorn for dinner. There you go.
Perfect
Captain
dinner. I love popcorn for dinner.
That's why your name is Captain Unconventional. Dee Dee, I love my Aldi vacuum sealer. Cool. Rooster says, got mangoes for 25 cents each. Whoa. At Safeway in Oregon. That's really good. Yeah. Kelly, I noticed my local grocery store has better sales at the end of the month, so I rebudget and shop those sales. Very good. See, you're paying attention. Heather says, what is the most you pay for a watermelon when it's in season? About $5.
For a whole melon.
Yeah. Melissa, would Bragg's aminos be substitute for liquid smoke? No, wouldn't even come close. Oh, my Lanta, if you tell me to pick out what they want for meals for this, what if you tell them to pick out meals they want for the meals for the following day? Yeah, my boys don't do that. I ask them all the time and they don't. They're like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, my kids and my husband, when I'd ask them, they just say, oh, I don't mind, whatever. Yeah, they just.
Yeah.
Lanta said she added butter, vinegar, and sugar, and it's better.
Oh, my Lanta said she added butter, vinegar, and sugar, and it's better. Yeah, I could see that. Monica, I tried to help a man price compare at the grocery store. Showed him a packet of 2 is cheaper than to buy 2 individual. He looked at me like I was crazy.
I've had that happen before.
I do too, all the time.
I've actually explained to them, look at that, and they just, it's like you can see it's just a blank look there.
Uncrustables are a waste of money. Don't get me started on those. I know. When those first came out, and even now, I'm just like, seriously, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It literally takes 30 seconds to make.
Well, they've got peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you can buy now.
I know. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Sonia, Mom took us shopping and taught us a lot of savings techniques that I still use today. Telling your kids no when you shop, help them to say no themselves as adults. Yep.
You know what happened is like in the 60s, all the moms went to work and started going to work, and they were so tired that they'd get home. They didn't want to bother to teach kids, to take them and try to actually train them and teach them how to do stuff anymore. And I think that's why we're kind of in the mess we are now, because there's been nobody to teach like Tara's age and on down, because everybody's gone to work all day long and then they get home and they're too tired. So
Vicky Kroger's pasta 5 for 99 cents. That's really good. Debbie, I love making impromptu pasta salads. Yep.
Mhm.
Kimberly, I'm a true Midwesterner and love to make casseroles. Yes.
That
I
is-
saw Charlie, I think it was Charlie, the comedian Charlie, what's his name? Breen or something like that. He did a thing on casseroles the other day. It was so funny. I made cheeseburger casserole using shredded potatoes last week. My husband loved it. Yes.
That's the way Kathy, a friend of mine, she said, everybody was so sweet and wonderful, but she said her husband passed away and they all brought her, food and everything. And she said, I got so sick of ham and casseroles that I just couldn't hardly eat them after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. If Mike dies, don't bring me food. Although they're really big at that here. So
Although
I'd probably get-
my friend, her husband passed away, and the most popular thing, people brought food in and everything, but the most popular thing, somebody had brought like 3 big, huge bags of M&Ms. And they poured them in a big bowl and just had sitting there on the table for when people came by.
Yeah, that's a nice way to gain weight after
I know,
your husband
but
dies.
if you think about it though, with everybody that was visiting or was family, and friends and everything, it's a comfort food. And so, sometimes you do need, I totally agree, you do need comfort foods,
Lee, we've helped her out so much, I think she said. And now my husband is learning I think she's meaning learning to deal, I think. Very good. I'm glad we've helped.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Susan, did you see Hobby Lobby's videos of 3 prices on the same item on the shelf? Oh my goodness. No, I didn't. I can just imagine. I know. And then what makes me mad is then when I go up and show the cashiers, because I take a picture of those things. Like the other day, Walmart had gone up, bread had gone up to $1.42, but they left $1.32 sign up. And I took a picture of it. And when it rang up, I said, nope. I said, you guys still have this sign up. I want it for $1.32. And they gave it to me. And I went back the other day and it was gone. So Jacqueline, French toast and sausage for dinner, vacation coming up. And I want to eat from my freezer and pantry. Yep. Very good.
Oh, yum.
Nelly, I no longer go out to eat, only special occasions. Food is awful and expensive. Service is not that great. Yep. We have one or two restaurants we go to because everything else just isn't that great.
Yeah.
Cheryl, hello from Illinois. I bet you're glad you're not living in Kansas anymore with all the tornadoes there.
Oh, I know. I've
Holy
been
cow, it's
watching
been
it.
crazy.
My son sent me these hailstones that were, about that big. He had holding in his hand. I thought, oh my word.
Cheryl, how long will expired coffee last? Oh, a really long time.
Yeah.
Like we're talking 5 to 7 or 8 years. And even if it does expire and it's not as strong, just use a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Or boil it longer. Either way might work. Sarah, this is why I don't shop at Walmart anymore. Plus, they charge more for things at the register than on the shelf. Yeah, well, you fight them on that. I don't put up with that at all.
They're doing that
So,
just not at Walmart, but
yeah.
a lot of different places. So you just have to be careful and watch now.
You can send me the next one's Mike. Kathleen, how was your vacation time? Anything exciting? Loves and hugs. So I haven't had vacation since last summer. So you have missed us for a while. But it was nice. Thank you for asking. Amy, I have noticed the packaging is included in a lot of weights. So sad that my pet food would last 3 and fill the container up, and now it lasts less time and doesn't fill the container up. Yeah, they're getting smaller stuff too. Letitia, if you are sick and have a few things delivered, it will feel like a luxury. Yep, it will. And let me tell you, I think it's like $12.99 for delivery now. But my goodness, it's definitely worth it. Just the time savings alone is worth it.
And if it would inspire you to save money in other areas, because you'll have more energy, you know, to work on other areas of saving money. That would be worth it. You need to figure out, sometimes you need to spend a tiny bit of money to save money, you know, and this would maybe be one of those cases.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Susan, do I use Walmart pickup? Yes. Abdabolo says, put a list on your cell phone. That is a tip for you. Yes, except that I have to find my cell phone to do that.
I know.
Have a pain in the patootie. So what I do is when I get to Walmart, I just call everyone and say, send me a picture of the list, please. And then they send it to me. Jane, I put up a 3-pound chub of hamburger and portion control for the freezer. Yep, that's what we do.
Very good. Mm-hmm.
Karen says, I already have volume 1 and 2, but just ordered the 3 set because I wanted the gluten-free one, and the other 2 will be gifts. Thank you.
Oh,
very good. Yes, guys, order right now. They're 50% off. Our sets for volume 1 and 2, and then our 1, 2, and gluten-free sets are 50% off. Individual books are 40% off. Our undated planners, we've got 1 box left. Undated planners, 400 pages, 366 days to help you get organized. And this is the lowest price. We are raising our prices. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm warning you right now. Sorry, but they will not be this low again.
It's a good thing to have too, like if you have weddings, graduations, birthdays, but even for Christmas coming up, you know, if you've got the money now to maybe do some of your Christmas shopping too, you know.
I do it now because they're going to be more expensive at Christmas.
And a cookbook is something that you can use for a whole lot of different people, you know, for different situations if you need an unexpected gift or something like that too.
Yep. Okay. You can see we're going to have to get the dog barky thing out, dear.
The dog barking.
I keep thinking it's one of the kids screaming. What it's sounding like. All right. Yes. And Joanne just bought 3-book set for a graduation gift. She has volume 1 and 2 and loves them.
Thank you.
Debbie, I always thought your cookbooks were extremely cheap in price for the information and recipes. So thanks. You are welcome. And yes, it is. I mean,
that's
literally you save the first trip to the grocery store.
That's
you
why
will
I was
save the
trying
price.
to say earlier. People don't understand what's in there. That's just not a picture and a recipe type cookbook at all.
Yep. Thank you, Karen, for ordering. Linda, we thank and give God the glory for all things. Yes. Simply joyful. When you have to explain why you have a nice thing, just say, I'm part of a team. Me and God work as a team.
That's good.
Mrs. T says, Proverbs 22 says, do not be one who shakes hands in pledge or puts up security for debts. If you lack the means to pay, your very bed will be snatched out from under you. Yep. Ohio it is says, have you ever considered learning the amount a family gets for food stamps and go grocery shopping for that number of people for a month, including things that will add to their pantry stash? Yeah, that would be an interesting video. And most vegetables need to be blanched before freezing. You know, they say that. I don't blanch anything. I just throw it in there and it's fine. So I don't know.
That's why I say,
missing, but
to me, it's not worth the effort. I mean, if you have a garden, maybe, you know, or something like that. But that's why I say I would just cut a piece or put a handful of stuff in there and see what happens. You know, maybe you don't have to do anything to them at all.
Yep. Debbie says the Dining on a Dime cookbooks are an excellent value. Not only that, but they are very well made and can be passed on to the next generation. Thank you.
Thanks for letting us know that. Yeah.
We have a special binding, so they will last longer.
Yeah, we were really picky on that.
Amy, yes, I love your cookbooks and your planner. Thank you. Bounty in the Badlands. What's left of our Swiss steak tonight will be heated up with eggs, pancakes, and cheddar cheese for breakfast. Very good. Amy shows how to save money and time with cleaning tips for less in our cookbooks. Yes. Olympia, skunk remover. Who knew? Yes. That actually, every summer, that's like our second or third highest post on our website.
People loving it because it actually works, which is really unusual for a skunk remover smell.
Yeah. Bounty in the Badlands, skunk remover. Dig a hole, put skunk clothes in, bury it for a week, dig up, and then burn it. That's her dad's recipe. Yep. Amy says the price book is great. She has, this one is our price book right here, guys. She has eggs marked for $1 and cereal for $1 a box. There you go. Kathy, I will take pictures of the recipe page for meal. Have at the store to get the to get the ingredients. So that's a good idea.
That's a really good idea.
Sonia, how are your ears feeling? I went to the doctor yesterday. She said I don't have anything wrong. So it's just allergies. But it's just comes and goes. So Susan, do we buy frozen fruit? Not really. I freeze my own fruit. So like when strawberries go on sale, I'll freeze enough for the year, or blueberries if I find a good deal. But no, I don't really. I'm not going to say I never buy frozen fruit, but I only buy a couple of bags a year. So it's not like I'm buying it all the time. Kimberly, little bit of sugar when it's homemade tomato sauce, and I also put a couple of drops of Worcestershire. Very good. Crescent Beckwith says, I hear you. Here, if you store lemons and limes in water in the fridge, they last longer. Yes, they do. Kristen just brought the planner, and I already have the spiral round recipe book from 2005 and love it. Very good.
Oh, good. I think people don't realize I've had oranges in my refrigerator now for, I don't know, 3 weeks now. I don't think a lot of people realize you can actually, once they ripen up, you can put a lot of fruits and vegetables in the refrigerator, and then they keep for even longer, after that.
Yeah.
And so, you can store fruits and vegetables in the refrigerator once they ripen up.
Yep.
Olivia said, I'm in an urban city, only skunks on 2 legs.
Olympia says, I'm in an urban city, only skunks on 2 legs. That's for sure. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Kristen says she loves the planner. Guys, we only have a few planners left. So if you want one, be sure to grab it. It's undated, so you can use it now and start, and you won't lose any days. Gail, I just bought the red cookbook. Again, my friend cooks from it all the time. That's great. Give her her own. There you go. Mrs. T recently found limited quantities of bread, English muffins, and bagels at Dollar Tree for $1.25. Very good. Hello, Jenny. Jacqueline says, I just made my own tortillas from the cookbook. That's volume 1, the red one. And fajitas are on the same menu. That's also volume 1, the red one. Thank you for the tip of buying marked down peppers and julienne them and pop them in the freezer. That's such a savings. I used to buy peppers and would throw them out because they would rot in the fridge. Yep. There you go. Jill, sometimes if I'm craving yogurt and blueberries and strawberries unsweetened. Yep. Patty, you can send me the next one, Mike. Patty, I made maple glazed chicken last night. So tonight's dinner was a chicken cut up on a salad. Very good.
Very good. Yeah.
Jacqueline, I just wanted to say that I use my Google Home Hub a lot at home. I say, hey, Google, play Dining on a Dime to Get Rich. And usually they will play the video, but it will not be lately. So what I have to say is, hey, Google, play educational video for my and my videos will come up. That's funny.
That's good.
Oh, my goodness. Lori says, I used to take my children and give them a couple of dollars for the snack of their choice to encourage them to look at the price and the unit of measure to see if they are getting a bargain. If they decided for something else, they were able to see how fast it disappeared when they got home, taught them grape skills and math skills. Yep. Wanda, when I get all the mayo I can out of a jar, sometimes it's time to make either potato or macaroni salad. I just put warm taters or noodles in the jar and shake. And you don't have to add nearly as much. Very good.
I also, I don't use all mayo on my potato salad. I sometimes add a little bit of milk, not a whole lot, just a little bit to loosen it up. If instead of putting more mayo on, I just add milk. So I do the same thing, except I just put milk in there in the mayo jar, shake it up, and then pour it on the potato salad too.
Kathy, I feel so special. I think you've mentioned all my comments tonight. Thank you. You're welcome. Now you can feel even more special. Jim had hamburgers and green beans tonight. Simple meal. Yep. Bounty in the Badlands. Jill, have you tried adding a brick of cream cheese to your potato soup? Definitely gets up the cream soup.
Oh,
yep.
I can, yeah.
Yes, I'm sure it would.
What I started doing is, I think I mentioned it before, Campbell's has come out with a cream of bacon soup. And I was really leery with the first can. I thought, sometimes the bacon stuff tastes like fakey, kind of fakey. And I've been putting that in my potato soup, and oh my goodness, it's so yummy. And I haven't tried it in a casserole yet, but I bet you that'd be really good in a casserole too. But that's a good idea with cream cheese.
Letitia, have you ever heard back on some of the grocery audits that were done? Just curious. I heard back from Gabby at Mexican Budget Cooking. She's done a couple, and she said that they're doing really good. And then I heard from Christine in Casper, and she said that they're getting some stuff paid off, and they're going hunting for much cheaper this year. much, much cheaper this year. So yes, so I think it did help. So I'm glad. Elaine, I think you could make a comedy video of how to make peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Chantel, I'm switching banks because they were bought out by a company I don't want to work with. Plus, they charge me $1 every month if I don't swipe my debit card 10 times. Ooh,
I don't even use the debit card. Oh my goodness.
Leah, your chocolate syrup is so delicious. I'll never buy Hershey's again. Thank you. It is delicious, isn't it? That's volume 1, the red one.
Oh, and Hershey's, I about had a heart attack. It was like $4 when I looked at the store just this past week. And when I bought it, it was $2 and something. So I about had a heart attack. So may have to start making my own again.
Kenneth says, lost 3 windows and shingles these past few days here in Oklahoma. Well, I'm glad. No offense, but I'm glad that's all you lost. Oh my word.
That was rough, Kenneth. I was watching that because it was heading towards Kansas and everything.
One of the towns that got obliterated from the face of the earth was right next to where my son used to live. And I was like, okay, I'm so glad you're out of there now.
Yeah.
But I'm sad you lost all that, but I'm glad that's all you lost.
Yeah. It was rough.
Melissa, Uncrustables. Just make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and cut it with a biscuit cutter. Sandra, how's your garden going? It's going. I got some stuff in there. It's been a little cold, so I haven't done anything the last couple of days. Joanne, do you have any secrets to make bad hacking cold get better quicker? Yes. Take some onions and cook them and put them in a dish towel and set the warm onions on your chest, and that will help. We also have a recipe for cough and cold syrup. I think, is it in Dining 2, I think, maybe? Or if not, it's on our website for a cough syrup, and that works really good. Now, it takes a little bit to get it down. I'm not going to lie. But, page 376 in volume 2. And so that works really good. Also, at pineapple juice.
I was just going to say pineapple juice helps me a lot too.
So try those 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. T says, this sounds crazy, but before going to bed, put Vicks vapor rubs on the bottom of your feet and then wear socks. Yes, I've heard that helps too.
That's good too.
Grandma So Happy says she loves the bagel recipes in our Dining on a Dime volume 1. Thank you. It's her family favorite. Veronica, I'm really sad I ordered the 2 books and they told me they got delivered. I checked and they weren't there. I checked order. It said if it got delivered back to you, I don't know what to do. Did you? Okay, Mike said he'll respond to you. Usually what happens is you did not enter your address correctly, usually is what happens. And Mike will get back to you and talk to you about that. Sean, I want to thank you very much for giving me information about using the bug killing dirt around my food storage. You're welcome. That is Diatomaceous Earth if you're looking for it. Paula, last year I bought volume 1 and 2 for myself as Christmas gifts and gave it to my husband to wrap it up and give it to me. There you go. Good job. Yeah, I have a few gifts missing myself that are going to start getting liberated. Debbie, the Dining on a Dime cookbooks are excellent value. Not only that, but they are very well made and can be packed on the next generation. That one got doubled, but yes, thank you.
Thank you for letting us know, on the books that you guys like them and everything, because that helps other people too to know.
Kimberly, I have a Spiral 20th Anniversary Edition, Volume 2. And not just beans. Wow. Yeah, Kimberly, you're a faithful. You've been with us for 25 years. Yeah. Man. Jim, diet plan. Look at cookbook pictures while eating a salad. There you go. That'll do it.
Oh, that's good.
Elizabeth says we've helped her a lot with our tips. Thank you. D, no sugar cookbook yet, or have I missed it? No, I'm not going to be writing a diabetic cookbook. So yeah, you didn't miss anything, but I didn't write it. Claire says, be sure to like this broadcast, friends. Thank you guys. Right below the screen, just give us a thumbs up. And
where the picture is, click the thumbs up.
Leo wife, I made the banana cake with caramel icing last week. It was great. Oh, that's so funny. I just made that yesterday also. Isn't it good? It's really good. Amber, hi guys. I watch you guys every morning with a cup of coffee. Thank you. I mean, we got over 2,000 videos, so that's a lot of videos to watch. Claire says oranges and lemons last for a couple of months in the fridge. Yes. Yeah. Mike, you can send me the next ones. Joanne, your books are a treasure trove of ideas and real good recipes. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. You guys are being so sweet tonight. Well, you always are, but
Sandra says the cookbooks are exceptional, great for recipes for families. Yep. And Edifying is agreeing with you on the cream of bacon.
Oh, so
And
you like it too. Yeah, I haven't heard anybody else that's had it yet, so I didn't know, but it was good.
Vicky says, been soaking a fresh cut apple in lightly salted water a few minutes and then drain before the fridge. They stay white and crunchy for about a week. Yep.
You know, I've been teaching this for years to use the salt water instead of the lemon juice because the lemon juice, it doesn't add a whole lot of flavor, but there's a stickiness to it when I go to dehydrate the apples. And it's more expensive than just using salt water. And people don't always understand that it's really good to use the salt water. And it lasts for a long time when you dip them in the salt water.
Mike.
And keeps them from.
Okay. And Hardle says, my fruits and vegetables go to my refrigerator to die. No, don't do that. Angie, do you recommend a skunk repellent? I live in Brooklyn, New York. For the first time, we have skunks behind our building. Oh, man. Animal control.
I know. Oh, well, a friend of mine used dryer sheets to get rid of rats in her house, and that seemed to get rid of the skunks, too. So you could try it. You know, I don't know for sure other than that. So
Jan says, I think YouTube changed something that once you hit the thumbs up, it stops showing the changing number. I've opened a second tab to check and find the number is much higher. Huh. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube. Don't get me started. Wanda, my friend rinses out mayo jars with some pickle juice for potato salad. Yeah, that's a great idea. 10
that's
in
good.
San Francisco Bay. No Aldi here. We easily do $100 or less with one gluten-free and allergy person. Full price, we don't buy. Yep. Karen just received my 2 cookbooks. Loving them. Thanks for the great job. Worth every penny. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Water Bucket says, yes, the grocery audit worked. I went from $500 to $200 a month. Yay!
Wow, that is great. Oh, my
so
goodness.
Joanne, I like peanut butter sandwiches with no jelly.
I do not like jelly on my peanut butter sandwiches either. There's not very many people that don't, but I hate jelly on peanut butter sandwiches.
Water Bucket, I was able to survive during a layoff. Now I have work and paid my e-fund back. Thank you. You are welcome.
Oh,
That
you
is
guys
great.
are
I'm glad
doing
you're working again.
good. Yeah.
Vicky, or Edifying, says cream of bacon soup is really good in broccoli casserole.
Oh,
yes,
yeah, I imagine it would be.
Would be very delicious.
Yeah.
All right, let me get the last questions here. But guys, Mother's Day sale, 50% off our sets, 40% off our individual books, and we only have a few planners left, and they're 20% off.
And you guys, you hear all these people say they actually follow the tips and do the stuff, and you can do it. You know, so many people make up excuses. I can't do this or that. And all these people have the same situations like what you do. You may think you're unique, but, you know, most of them are pretty much the same, you know, basically the same in different ways, but they all can save money. They did stop making excuses and they just started doing the tips is what it boils down to.
Deanna says she bought the gluten-free Dining on a Dime cookbook, and the bread is really the best. Thank you. I was actually editing that video today. Yes, if you need gluten-free bread, you can make it for about $1.50 a loaf versus $7 or $8 at the store. Jacqueline didn't know about the salt water. Yes, it's much cheaper than lemon juice.
It doesn't take much. I usually use, probably teaspoon for 6 to 8 cups, if that much, you know. And I tested it one time, and I had the apples after I put them in the salt water, I had them sitting in my refrigerator, not in the water, just in the refrigerator in a baggie it was over a week, and they didn't turn brown. So I ended up eating them. So I don't know how long they would have gone beyond that.
Yep. Claudia has the original Spiral Volume 1 and the current Volume 2, and she loves them. Thank you.
Oh.
Dee Dee says, I've used dryer sheets in my car glove compartment to keep mice from nesting under the hood. Yep, that would be a great idea. And a lot of people don't like jelly on their peanut butter.
Really?
That's
that makes
crazy.
me feel so much better because I've never, in school, everybody had to have jelly. I love putting butter with peanut butter on my bread. Or I like to put lettuce on my peanut butter sandwich. So
how close is it?
The storm?
Maybe you should go look. There's a fire.
A fire?
Like not too far from our
If
house.
we disappear real quick, guys, you know that.
Well, actually, we're going to disappear, so I don't know what the fire is. Mike's going to go check, but he didn't look real.
Yeah, he was looking pretty serious out there, Anna. That's not good.
All right, guys, go check out our Mother's Day sale. The link is in the description below. Only 48 hours left, and our prices are going up. They will not be this low again. So our prices are going up. So if you want them, get them now. Stock up for Christmas, whatever holidays, graduation you got coming up. In the description below, Mike and I will be on tomorrow evening, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.
Bye-bye, guys.